Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 223 of the best bits of the Atom Radio Breakfast Show. And this is Mark Denholm from the Breakfast Show. And Saturday, 10th of June it is when this comes out. I do realise, being a podcast, you could be listening to it at any point in time. But today, the 10th of June, when it comes out. So yeah, going to be a hot weekend this weekend if you are listening when it comes out. And if not, then you might be listening in the middle of winter thinking, what's he talking about? Well, that's the thing. On the way, AI, we've got exam tips, we've got experts, we've got wishing on a star and why it might not be a great idea, car horn alternatives, effective use of your spare time, and Rishi Sunak masquerading as a child.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Home of the anthems all day long. This is Atom Radio, online, on mobile, on smart speaker. Morning, morning, morning. And welcome to Monday, 5th of June. Netflix fans are utterly creeped out by disturbing new horror film Tin and Tina, saying it's going to give them nightmares for days. It is probably billed as a horror film, is it not? And could could AI help me speak? Could AI make you richer? The service ChatGPT is being asked for investment advice and gets experienced financial planners to analyse the results. That's all well and good, but what if AI takes your job anyway? Then you've got no money to invest, so it doesn't work. You see, I don't really see that it's that good, if I'm honest. And
this is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
If you've got a GCSE English exam today and you get stuck on any question and you don't know the answer, just write this down. The sentence, the quick brown fox jumps over a lazy dog, uses every single letter of the alphabet. You've got to get at least a point for trivia knowledge on that, haven't you? The quick brown fox jumps over a lazy dog, uses every single letter in the English alphabet.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
What I want to know today, though, is what is the strangest thing you've ever heard anyone claim to be an expert in? Probably, if we're honest, self-appointed. Oh yes, I'm an expert, blah, blah, blah. What is it? On air at atomradio.co.uk. And I absolutely love this from Gary. Gary's email is short and sweet, and I will dissect it in a moment. But Gary says, morning, Mark, unbelievably, a karaoke expert. And I'm just thinking, surely karaoke is... I mean, it's about being a bit naff, isn't it? You know, why would you be an expert unless they're saying that they're an expert and not being able to sing that well? But surely karaoke is about being a little bit naff, isn't it? If you're really, really good, then you get a job as a singer, wouldn't you? Or you'd be self-employed and you tour local venues and that, hoping to get picked up and hoping to get a record deal and become famous. But no, if you're doing karaoke, it's just for the giggles, isn't it? And therefore, you expect to be a little bit on the naff side as far as karaoke goes. Therefore, how is it that you could claim to be a karaoke expert? I don't know, Gary, on that one, if I'm honest. A karaoke expert. Where did you see that?
Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Let's count down the top 5 of experts who've clearly self-appointed in their fields. At number 5, an expert driving instructor. At number 4, an expert housekeeper. At number 3, a karaoke expert. At number 2, an expert grass cutter. And the top self-appointed expert for this week, a bin man who appointed himself as an expert rubbish collector.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Morning, morning, morning. Mark Denholm at breakfast, banging out the anthems on Atom Radio. It's 18 minutes to 7 o'clock. According to astronomy, when you wish upon a star, you're actually a few million years late. The star is already dead, just like your dreams. That's a harsh reality to wake up to on a Wednesday, is it not?
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
26 degrees today, dry, sunny and hot, which means that the air conditioning will have to go on later on today, I would imagine. My house is generally like a sauna in the summer. And I have to say, so far this year, I've been quite lucky in that it hasn't got unbearably hot. But I'm guessing today, with 26 degrees, could get very, very hot as well. I'm also guessing today, with 26 degrees, come the drive home later, there'll be a lot of people hastily trying to book into their local air conditioning centre to have their car air conditioning regassed after the winter. With it being that hot today, fingers crossed, though, that you don't get too hot. And you make the most of the 26 degrees day. If you're having a barbecue tonight, should be lush, shouldn't it, for a Wednesday barbecue. and then possibly 29 later on in the week as well. So it is going to be a scorcher this week and hotter than Spain by all accounts. Enjoy. Today, I want to talk to you about your car horn because beep beep is, to be honest, a bit boring really, isn't it? Beep beep, bit boring, that really. And I saw an Instagram reel yesterday of a lorry that played the Venga Boys. That was the lorry's horn. And I thought, that's absolutely amazing. And it got me thinking, really, like, what would I like as my horn? And I was going to say I'd go with one of my talk-over beds, but then maybe now I'd have to go for this, although I don't really know that this would be that much of a warning, would it, of me coming? And I don't really know that it converts to horn-type sounds that well either. But therefore, what I'd like to know today is, if you can have any song as your car horn, what would it be, and for what reason would you pick the song that you picked? On air at atomradio.co.uk.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast. Podcast.
A pensioner has become so fed up with road markings being faded that he's repainted them himself. People are doing that now, aren't they? There was the person who filled the potholes as well. And in Slough, I noticed a tweet from Slough Borough Council appealing for volunteer gardeners. They've increased council tax by 10% but can't afford to do the gardening. I did suggest in reply that former leader James Swindlehurst will have plenty of time on his hands now, and indeed could use the experience he got from doing Rob Anderson's gardening to help him. Perhaps he could volunteer to do the gardening.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
You know, yesterday I got a message from my doctor. It's been nearly 11 months now, just a week shy of 11 months since I last had a cigarette. And the doctors know this. I get a text yesterday. Smoking can lead to strokes, cancer, heart and lung disease. We strongly advise quitting. The best way is to stop with a combination of medication and specialist support. Well, I mean, that would have been handy to know 11 months ago. I've kind of done 11 months now. I think I'm over the worst of it.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast. Podcast.
Morning and welcome to Friday. Rishi Sunak was in the States, was he not? Went to a baseball game and went out to throw the first pitch. I genuinely thought it was, like a child mascot. When I saw the picture at first glance, I saw this picture, I thought it's a child mascot out with the club mascot. One of those ones in costume, and alongside him, Rishi Sunak. And I thought, yeah, that's nice. Look at them letting the little kid throw the ball out.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast. Podcast.
Genuinely, I looked at that picture. I just happened to be glancing over the website, and I looked at that picture. I was like, look at that, as a kid out with the club mascot. And it was only then when I read it, Rishi Sunak. Ah, okay, not a kid. He must actually be. I know that he's not tall. I've never met Rishi Sunak in person yet. But, well, I'm not really likely to, am I, to be fair? But I know that he's not tall. I didn't realise he was quite that small. And maybe, therefore, earlier the memes about the boots that he wore the other day maybe they're more accurate than I thought. Well, they've got some where he's just disappearing inside a boot. And maybe now they are more accurate than I thought. This weekend, the 10th, 11th of June, very, very hot. That's when the podcast comes out. And I know you could listen to it at any point in time, but it is very, very hot this weekend. If you happen to be listening to this when it is still relevant, take care. Make sure you keep yourself well hydrated and make sure you wear sun cream as well. Check out the show when it's back Monday morning on many forms. You can listen from 6 on Monday.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast. Podcast.